Tonight, we will start with politics for a change because Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's, one of his trusted lieutenant Jitin Prasada, a former union minister, stunned the party today by switching teams and joining the BJP. It's being seen as a blow to the Congress ahead of the elections in Uttar Pradesh next year. More importantly, a personal setback for Rahul Gandhi, whose friends appear to be leaving the party one by one. Last year Scindia, this year Prasada. It's our top story.
Another Congress leader jumps the ship. Jitin Prasada, a former union minister and more importantly, a prominent member of the Rahul Gandhi brigade, is now in the BJP.
अगर आप अपने लोगों के उपयोग नहीं आ सकते, उनके सहायता के लिए आप मौजूद नहीं हो सकते और आपके इस लायक नहीं हैं कि आप अपनी जनता के हितों की रक्षा कर पाएं, तो वो मुझे महसूस होने लगा कि मैं वो कांग्रेस पार्टी में नहीं कर पा रहा हूं.
Prasada was part of the much talked about generational shift executed by Manmohan Singh in UPA 2. Jyotiraditya Scindia, Sachin Pilot, Milind Deora, RPN Singh and Prasada were seen as the future of the party. The Gen Next of the Congress were considered privileged. Their proximity to Rahul was cause for much envy within the organization. Some of them, including Prasada, are said to have had direct access to Rahul, an honor even the senior-most members of the party don't enjoy. Over 10 years later, Team Rahul is in tatters. Jyotiraditya Scindia left for the BJP in March 2020. Sachin Pilot has revolted once. He now remains on the sidelines biding his time. And now, Jitin Prasada.
ये जाना अच्छा नहीं था क्योंकि उनके पिताजी भी कांग्रेस में पहले से थे. रहते हुए भी आज ऐसा डिसीजन लिया, अनफॉर्चुनेट.
Jitin Prasada's entry into the BJP ahead of the UP elections is a big blow to the Congress. But is it a boost for the BJP? He has lost the last 3 elections he contested, 2 Lok Sabha and 1 Assembly. In one of them, he even lost the deposit. Political pundits believe the move gives the BJP one more face from the Brahmin community. A loyal vote bank reportedly upset with the Yogi Adityanath administration over alleged pampering of Thakurs.
As Jitin left his residence in the morning, he knew he must take this drive to bail out his political career. The fact is that the Congress has hit the rock bottom in Uttar Pradesh. And as Priyanka stepped in, things started turning from bad to worse. He was being constantly elbowed out. The big question is, after Scindia and Jitin, who's next? With video journalist Himanshu Mishra, this is Mosmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
And let's go to senior leader and a former union minister, also from Uttar Pradesh, Salman Khurshid joins me. Appreciate your joining us. Mr. Khurshid, how are we to see Jitin Prasad leaving the Congress to join the BJP? Last year it was Jyotiraditya Scindia, rumblings around Sachin Pilot. Is there a sense that the Congress is a sinking ship which cannot accommodate the ambitions of its younger leadership in particular?
That's a very, very tough question. If I agree with the first part, I will then be able to accept the second part. If I don't agree with the first part, then what do I say about the second part? Congress is going through difficult times. I don't think that any sensible person would contradict that or deny that. But there are thousands of us who are absolutely determined to see the Congress through these bad times and to get back to good times again. That's a conviction, that's a matter of faith, that's a matter of analysis, and I believe that's good for the country as well. Now, if people are leaving us, we cannot be defined, we cannot be described in terms of their decisions. They take a decision, they go where they want to go. In this particular case, I feel really very, very, very bad, and I feel very low because his father was a good friend of mine. He's been a very good friend of mine, and we've all liked him as a younger brother, as a younger person. And I'm very sad that he decided to go. But that's his choice. That's his decision. Let it rest there.
But isn't that part of the problem? His father was a friend of mine. His father was in the Congress. A lot of the younger generation are entitled, or some believe are entitled, Dennis, who've had soft landings in your party. They've never really had to fight their way up. And the problem in the Congress is that is how people rise in your party, based on their proximity to your leadership, to the Gandhi family, and based on what their family surname is. Unless you change that, and then those very people choose to join the BJP. Therefore, is there a need for the Congress to change the way it functions in terms of how do you reward people based on merit and their mass connect, and not on basis of who their father or their surname is?
Listen, there are things like legacy, heritage, continuity, tradition, which aren't all bad things. But obviously, merit is an important thing. And you can't be saying that people who have won elections in this country don't have merit. Now, the fact is that somebody would have won an election and made space for themselves in the upper echelons of the party. And then when the party hit a bad time, hit an air pocket, they lost their elections. Now they won and they've lost. How the party functions come into this? The party has place for people who don't have a heritage, political heritage and legacy, and it has a place for those who have political heritage and legacy. But what would serve the party better will be a decision that the party will take from time to time. There are no absolutes here. There are no absolutes and final conclusive views about this.
No, but let's look at, for example, your home state of Uttar Pradesh and Jitin Prasada's home state. I mean, you have been for the longest time, for almost 3 decades now, a marginal party in Uttar Pradesh. And there has been no serious attempt, it seems, to revive the party. You've now put in Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as the General Secretary in the Congress. And there are no visible signs at the moment that the Congress is a completely new political animal in Uttar Pradesh. So, I mean, Priyanka Gandhi becomes straight away General Secretary in charge of Uttar Pradesh. If I'm a middle-level leader in your state, what do I sense? That you still need the Gandhi family, and therefore those who are privileged to have access to them get benefits, the rest have to wait. And even those who get access, as you've seen with Mr. Scindia and Mr. Prasada, are leaving for their greener pastures.
Well, I mean, if someone is attracted to greener pastures, I can't be answering questions about them. There are people with attitude, and there are people with different attitude. But when you keep saying that the Congress getting Priyanka Gandhiji doesn't know what it's doing, it's completely wrong. I do believe that she's brought in a lot of energy into our party. We have trust and faith that she will lead the party to a very respectable position. We may be wrong, but then that's our conviction and that's our faith. And we see how she performs, how she works, how she connects, how she leads, how she cajoles, how she pushes. We've seen all that. Now, it's for us to judge whether that's what we need, or somebody else sitting in a studio telling us there's something else that you should be doing.
No, I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, I'm trying to find out what is the solution to what you also accept is the Congress's crisis. That's all I'm trying to understand. You are accepting that the Congress is in a crisis? I am unable to find, and the fact is it's been in a crisis since 2014. It's not something that we are discussing today.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying we are in a prolonged crisis, but from time to time, we've been able to hold the line. We've after all remained in government, even when the crisis was surrounding us. We did remain in government. Now, of course, there are very serious crises, and they are not just crises about a political party. There are crises about how this country is to go forward. We are being hit by that crisis as well, and we are taking it on the chin.
Okay.
But everyone is not like people who are leaving. I'm here, and I'm going to stay here. Now, please, should you not be emphasizing and focusing on those of us who are not willing to leave? It's not that we are blind. It's not that we are insensitive. It's not that we don't care about our future. But we do believe our future lies in the Congress, and that's why we are here.
Okay. You know, every great brand also needs reinvention. I'll come to you for one final question, Mr. Khurshid. But before that, I want you to see and want our viewers to see what Jitin Prasad would say about Narendra Modi when he was in the Congress and what he said today. Take a look.
मैं भी जानना चाहता हूं और आप लोग भी उत्तर प्रदेश से हैं, कौन सी उनकी उपलब्धि है, क्या हुआ इस एक वर्ष के कार्यकाल में, कौन सी नौकरियां मिल गई, कौन से किसानों की आमदनी दुगनी हो गई, कौन सी सड़कें बन गई, कौन सी कानून व्यवस्था सुधर गई, जो यहां जाके वहां बखान कर रहे हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी बहुत बड़ा कार्य करेगी। और प्रधानमंत्री जी रात दिन भारत की सेवा में निस्वार्थ लगे हुए हैं, हम देखते आए हैं, हमने चुनौतियों का सामना भी किया, जनता ने हमें दरकिनार भी किया है, तो हम जानते हैं कि उनके प्रति देश की भावना क्या है, प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रति। और वो जो नए भारत का निर्माण कर रहे हैं, उसमें मुझे भी एक सदस्यता जो आज मैंने ग्रहण की है भारतीय जनता पार्टी की, एक योगदान छोटा सा करने का भारत के प्रति, भारत की जनता की आने वाली पीढ़ियों के प्रति करने का अवसर मिलेगा।
It looks almost as if the Congress Mukt Bharat has now become a Congress Yukt BJP, Mr. Khurshid. You know, the BJP is a bit like the old Congress. You're able to accommodate the ambitions of various people. Is that the big change in a way, that the Congress has ceased to be the big tent that could accommodate or provide conflicting ambition space? You are not a party of power. Therefore, the likes of Jitin Prasad are looking for a career in BJP. Politics is now a career. It's not about ideology.
I said it's a matter of attitude. Some people think more of ideology. Some people think more of career. I don't want to take on anyone for a choice that they've made. I said that I'm deeply disappointed, and I feel deeply sad that this has happened. But as far as I'm concerned, there are some who are prepared to sleep out in the open, and there are others who must remain inside a tent. We are happy to sleep out in the open under the stars, as far as we are concerned, because we do believe that there are better days to come, and they must come not just for us personally, but they must come for the country.
We'll wait and see when the Achhe Din for the Congress come. But Salman Khurshid, you are now in the sort of veteran category in the Congress, but clearly Gen Next is impatient and wants change faster than perhaps the Congress is able to accommodate at this moment. So let's leave it at that. Clearly the ambitions of Jitin Prasada could not be fulfilled within the Congress tent this time.